Hello, everyone, and welcome to our monthly Autism and Developmental Differences family-friendly meeting. So we set up these meetings to be able to share good practice, tips for families, professionals, employers, and other employees, and any and everyone who's actually interested in special needs or developmental differences and the families and carers. So there's a core group that runs the monthly meetings, and this is made up of Hannah Wadi, who is the founder of Special Mothers Project. There's Nanekua Owusu, who's the founder of Awawe2 in Ghana. There's Emmanuel Ntonyaku, who is the founder of Any Foundation. There's Joshua Adi. He's got lived experience and he works with the National Council for Persons with Disability. And Mrs. Wakweno, she's the founder and executive director of Autism Awareness Care and Training Center. And there's myself, Hannah Comensa, who has an interest in autism and developmental differences. So a bit of housekeeping today. Please mute all your mics if you are not speaking, and you can unmute during the question and answer time. Share your details in the chat if you'd like to network. And also, please put your questions in the chat as we go along, as our guest speaker speaks. That way you wouldn't forget your questions at the very end. And also, you can turn off your camera if you don't want to appear in the recording, because we do distribute the recording with other members of the group who are unable to attend these meetings. So going straight into introductions, our speaker for today is going to be talking about how parents can manage stress, identify depression, and seek help. And he's in the person of Dr. Kojo Koba Essel. He's a wellness entrepreneur and a lifestyle medicine practitioner. He's also the CEO of Health Essentials Limited. Kojo is a managing partner of St. Andrew's Clinic in Airport Residential Area and a co-founder of Mobicel Limited, an emergency and mobile health services provider. Kojo is also a medical doctor in the first instance with over 25 years experience practicing medicine and mentoring other doctors and different professionals. He also holds an MBA with multiple concentrations, including business strategy, pharmaceutical, and supply chain management. Kojo has 3 certifications with the International Sports Sciences Association, that's ISSA. And these are specialist in exercise therapy, specialist in fitness nutrition, specialist in corrective exercise. In Kojo's Health Essentials column in the Weekly Spectator, Business Ghana, and Health Essentials GH.com, he unleashes his passion to raise public awareness, especially in the control and prevention of non-communicable diseases. He also writes on health for other newspapers and magazines and is a regular guest on radio. Dr. Essel is the author of the must-own and must-read magazine award-winning book, Unraveling the Essentials of Health and Wealth. His musings and public education have been republished online all over the world. Kojo's goal in his professional life is to coach his clients to take responsibility for their health and well-being. He loves to unearth innovative ideas to a healthier, fitter, and enjoyable lifestyle. The Health Essentials team continues to roll out health education sessions, training and medical screening for deprived communities, as well as corporate clients. Kojo and his outstanding team are pace setters in corporate wellness programs. Wow, that is a mouthful. So thank you very much, Dr. Essel, for joining us. And we are going to give you about 30 to 35 minutes, share with us. And then we have lots of questions that we would like to ask you. So the floor is yours and over to you. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. It's good to be here. And Hannah, thank you. Thank you for the invite. And yes, I was hoping you would only say a little bit of the biography. Anyway, so, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I got to say something about breast cancer. So just a short word on that, right? And this one you can unmute, and answer. Somebody can say, how long does it take you to take a bath? Anyone can just give me, how long does it take you to take a bath? From entering your shower, your tub, to drying yourself, how long does that take? Anyone?
Five to 10 minutes.
10 minutes, all right. So that's a good time. So in 10 minutes, right, every time you take a bath, 3 women somewhere in the world would be diagnosed with breast cancer. That is how widespread it is. And it's important that we all take the necessary precautions. Let's talk to women. Let's talk to every woman in our life. That doesn't mean men don't get breast cancer as well. Men do too. But let's talk to every woman in our life that every breast needs TLC. And the T is you have to touch it, the L is you have to look at it, and the C is you have to check it out. So always remember, every breast needs TLC, tender love and care. Good. So that is it for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So let's get in here. And I'm going to start sharing my screen. Now everyone can, yeah, you can mute again. I'm going to start sharing my screen. And before then, it's okay if a few of you put on your cameras. I want to teach you how to breathe. And towards the end, you will know why I want to do this. It's an extremely important thing to do. We are going to do 3 different types of breathing. And the first one, you're taking a deep breath, and I'll take you through it. You push your belly out so that the soft structure here between your chest and your abdomen is called the diaphragm. It will fall, and then you can fill your lungs. So you breathe in, belly pushed out, and then slowly you bring it out through partially closed lip. The second one, you take the breath in same way through your nostrils, but this time you are going to count up to 4, take it in, hold it, count of 4, you count it in your head, right? And then bring it out through your partially closed lip, for the count of 5. Then the last one, you're going to have 3 stops. You don't breathe out at any point. So you take the breath in, I'll say stop. Then you take it another gulp in, and I say stop. And then the last one, and then you bring it up. Okay, so let's do this together. Please, just follow me. So I'm taking the breath through my nostrils, pushing my belly out, fills it, and I'll bring it out through a partially closed lip. I can't see anyone. Again, in. And then out.
Oh, this is Sai.
In. Again. And then out. Good. The second one, remember what I said? You count 4 when you're taking the breath. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you hold it. Count of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you bring it out. So let's do it. I hope everybody's taking it in through your nostril. Good. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. Count of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now bring it out slowly through your partially closed lip. Count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the final one, in again. Hold it. Count to 4. Bring it out. Count of 5. Final, third. So you take in the breath, and I say stop. You stop there. You don't breathe out. You take it again. So let's go. Stop. Breathing again. Stop. Take another one. Stop. Now bring it out slowly. Let's do one more time of that. Let's take it in. Stop. Take in. Stop. Final one. Stop. Now bring it out slowly. Now, when you do this, you start to feel relaxed already. Anyone who did it properly will start feeling relaxed. And it's important that you take note of this. And do it as often as you can. All right, so whatever I'm going to talk about today, everyone here knows it already. Many of you know it even better than me. But what I'm going to do at the end of the day is to point out the low-hanging fruits so that you all leave here and this evening you can immediately start practicing some of these tips. That is the goal. The rest is, just the flower. All right. So I love to start with take-home points, and anybody who's listened to me before knows why I do that. So that at least even if you fall asleep or you have to do something, you would at least have heard something. Now, anyone who has to deal with a family member who is unwell, has developmental challenges, anything, it is important that you practice self-care. Most of the time, we are too eager and keen to help everyone around us. But what is the point? You cannot pour out from an empty cup or half-full cup. How much can you do? You have to be the best version of yourself so that you can give more. So even if you don't hear anything else, remember you need to take care of yourself. Yes, things will be tough. You would have challenges. You will have down days. You would have days that you cry. You would have days that you don't want to do anything. But remember, self-care is the ultimate. You need to do that. It is not a matter of if you are going to feel depressed or if you're going to feel anxious or you're going to feel stressed. It is a matter of when. When will that come? You would have these things, sometimes you have good days, you have bad days, you have good months, you have bad months. That is life, and it cuts across. Now, I'm going to take you all the way to start what I call pillars of wellness. Now, some people cover them under 8 pillars. I do 6 pillars, and it's physical wellness, social wellness, spiritual wellness, financial wellness, mental wellness, and digital wellness. With all these tech stuff now, digital wellness is extremely huge. Now, why do I say now? Each of these pillars is equally important. None of them has prominence or priority over the others. If you shortchange yourself in any one, you are going to pay for it one way or the other. So the everyday things covered under physical wellness are, your exercises, what you are eating, your medical tests that you do. Very important. Social wellness, you should be able to bond with people. You need go-to people. Each of us needs to have someone that I can call at 2 a.m. and say, look, I'm having a rough night, and just listen to the person talk, or you just rant. If you don't have a friend like that, please, you have a week to look for a friend like that. It could be family, it could be friend. You need somebody like that, or a couple of people like that in your life. It will go a long way to make you more robust, more resilient, make you enjoy life more. And I'm sure many of you may have seen the data for longevity, social wellness, social bonds, huge part. Spiritual wellness, yes, we need to have a superior being that we look at, so that at the end of the day, when things get tough, you can always say that, hey, Baba, this one, it is not my fight, so I leave it to you. For me, it is God. Other people have other things they believe in. Financial wellness, I put this sent out the other time, and most people were talking about financial wellness. It's extremely important. Your finances have to be right. But if your finances are right and you are low on the rest, you wipe away the finances. So yes, we all need to make the necessary adjustments to make sure that our future is secure. In my business, I encourage staff to have what we call a fund. That's just for your wellness, in your later life, because I think you will need that kind of backing. Or mental wellness, I'm sure COVID told us or taught us so much. I don't need to dwell too much on it. What are you doing? How are you thinking? How are you? What's your thought process like? Your feelings, etc., etc. These are extremely important too, because when your mental health is not in the right place, you are unable to function well when it comes to physical health. You're not even going to get up to go for a walk. You're not able to bond with people. You just want to stay in your corner, or you just want to, do something else, probably sleep. Now, digital wellness, extremely important. These times, sometimes people even sleep with their telephones, and I think it's important that we learn to unplug from time to time. Don't spend all your time on the screen. Make time where the phone is away. The laptops, your phones, your books, they are not for your bedroom, or they're not for your bed. Let's put it that way. They don't have any place there. So let's make time to unplug. It gives us rest. Good. Now, let's just talk to you about, how would depression, how would stress, and let's not wait for fully blown out things. They would come, but they come in different ways. Now, when it comes to taking care of a family member with a disability, physical challenge, mental challenge, any form of thing, it's a chronic illness, and chronic or long-term illness qualifies to be one of the major factors that predispose us to stress and depression. Finances, another big thing. So can you imagine, in the most settings, you would have one parent probably leaving their job. Leaving your job alone is stressful enough. But then if your finances also go down, that's another huge stress. In this area, you realize that many people don't have enough or a lot of adequate knowledge, especially in our part of the world, about certain conditions. In ASD, for instance, it's fairly new to most people, and people would sort of not always be willing to lend a helping hand because they are afraid, in inverted commas. So you feel isolated, you are busy, you are overwhelmed, and being overwhelmed or not feeling that you are adequately equipped for anything is a recipe for what? Stress. Now, also, this brings about a lot of family conflicts. Whenever somebody's not well, there's a lot of conflict. It's your fault, it's this. And, it opens the doors to a lot of problems. Then the blame game, that also comes. How would you normally know that you are depressed or you are anxious or you are distressed? Now, this is another reason why you need buddies. You need go-to people, because these are people who know you well, sometimes even better than your spouse. It shouldn't be the case, but sometimes, and they will pick changes in you. Sometimes you are sad, you're not happy, you are tired all the time. You're always anxious that something is going to happen, something bad is about to happen. These are telltale signs. You get into bed, you're not able to sleep, you toss and turn, you fall asleep, and by 2 a.m., 3 a.m., you are awake, and you probably lie in bed till morning, or you fall asleep or you can't fall asleep till about 5 a.m., 6 a.m. when it's about time to wake up. These are things. Your eating pattern is all over the place. Either you are eating a lot or you are not eating at all. These are things that we should be looking at. And sometimes you may not even pick it up yourself because life is moving so quickly. Another reason why you need people who are close to you, people who are going to help. And the feeling of being overwhelmed, body pains, especially for males. For males, depression may normally come, or stress may come as more as chest pains, back pains, waist pains, more than all these signs of feeling sad, etc. It happens in women as well. Sometimes your heart is beating fast. I'm sure you've heard about the broken heart syndrome. Now, broken heart syndrome can mimic any proper heart attack, and this also happens in situations like this where someone is chronically ill. When you find your child, your bundle of joy, and you think that, hey, I've done something wrong. Why is God doing this to me? These things all produce such changes in your body. Now, what am I going to talk about today as to how to prepare, how to become robust, how to be resilient? You are not, like I said at the beginning, it's a matter of when, not if. So the important thing is, let's practice these things that we're going to share so that at the end of the day, we become more robust. And when things hit us, we are able to, absorb the shock better. If we are already in the middle of it, we are managing families with such challenges, please, let's start these things. Let's go one after the other. And there's a big change. There'll be a big change in our life in most instances. And for those of us who will not see the changes, of course, at the end, we'll talk to you about getting professional help. Professional help is also extremely important. But this, I term it green prescription. It's a green prescription. This is not the stuff that is going to be medication, but your lifestyle, things that you are going to incorporate into your life. And I always say one of the big things that come out is rest, right? And when it comes to rest, I'm sure if you're like me, there are times where you say, oh, I'm so tired, I need to rest. You sleep for 10 hours, you wake up and you're still feeling tired, right? That is because there are different aspects of rest. But most of the time, we limit it to sleep or maybe relaxing in a chair or maybe going for a massage. Yes, sleep, maybe doing yoga, massage, these come under physical rest. Perfect. But what about the other six? Mental rest, social rest, spiritual rest, emotional rest. We need to balance all these things. And I'll talk to you about mental rest. Mental rest, especially for some of us, we can't say no. Look, taking care of a child is enough load. So there are times you have to learn to say no. Otherwise, you will be so overwhelmed. And if you don't know how to say no, I think today you should start saying no. You know what your plate is like. I'm not saying you should avoid every sort of thing. You need to grow. You need to improve your life. But you should also know that this one, it will just add too much to my load. Social rest is extremely important as well. And I mentioned that already. You need to take yourself away from people who will drain you. You've got to gradually get off. Some people, it's always the negative side. Hey, Akolai, what are you going to do? Hey, you have stopped working. How are you going to make money? Negative. You need positive people who would replenish whatever energy you use taking care of your family. So social rest, important. Spiritual rest, mention it under that. You need that kind of God or superior being to praise, worship, do things that would take your mind off. And I'm sure many of us have had times when we have prayed, we have meditated, we have read the Bible. If you are Christian, if you are Quran, if you're Muslim, the Quran, anything, talking to God or a superior being to get results, right? Sensory rest is important. There's too much energy around. Flickering lights, noise, technology. So we need to unplug. So sometimes your rest that you need is creative rest. What is creative rest? It's like making time to maybe draw. And down the line, you see that I'll talk to you about hobbies. So you need to have a hobby. You don't even have to be good at it. Sometimes that is what will give you the rest. Walking through maybe nature, place with greenery, by the beach. You need that kind of rest. And no matter how much you sleep, if it's creative rest is what you lack, you're not going to get it. So from today, remember, it's not all about just sleeping when you have the time. Sometimes you don't feel like stepping out of home, but please make the time, try. All right, so what are you all taking today bits and pieces of things that you can work with. And that will make you more robust. It will help you to manage the anxiety. It will help you to manage stress better. It will help you to manage depression. And the first thing here is exercise, because I'm biased when it comes to exercise. But it's a wonder drug. Exercise, if there was a pill that could give you all the benefits of exercise, I'm sure you all be popping it every day, and the doctors will be prescribing it. Exercise covers virtually every aspect of our bodies and our lives. And it is the one thing that you start getting immediate results. If you start exercising now, you are going to see major changes in your life by morning. So you do it for a week, more, 3 weeks, more, 1 month. So it is tiring. Sometimes you just don't feel like you don't have the energy. Don't worry. You can walk in your room, stand by your bed, walk in the same place. Start with 5 minutes, gradually increase it. You'll be a much better person. And it's at this point that I'm going to, okay, you can see me, right? I want to teach you something about on your neck. Many times when you're so stressed, you feel a lot of pains in your neck and your upper back. So I'm going to use 2 minutes to just teach you some neck exercises, because you see, when you're so stressed out, people tend to try and break their necks off, suicidal attempts, all that kind of thing, to try and correct the neck pain. But you see, your neck is extremely delicate. Do not do such things to it. All that your neck needs, right? And kindly follow me. Do this with me. So let's start. You sit or you stand. You turn. You look at the tip of your left shoulder. You count up to 10. I'm not going to count up to 10. Then you look at the tip count up to 10. I won't do that either. But just to show you. Then your left hand. Once now you try to look at the tip of your left hand, you push it away, right? You are trying to look at the tip of your left shoulder and you are pushing away with your left hand. You feel the tension in there. Do the same on your right to right. As you try to look at the tip of your right shoulder, you push it away with your right hand. Then you put your hand, clasped hands, put at the back of your head. As you push your head backwards, you resist forwards with your hand. Count up to 10, repeat. Do it for your front. As you push your head forwards, you resist with your hand. This is what your neck needs, right? Not not, just do these basic things. DP, I thought you would be doing the exercise with me. DP, I will do. You would remember? I hope so. Okay. Now, the other thing that helps build our robustness is smiling. You see, the good thing about smiling is the body doesn't know whether it's fake smile or real smile. It still produces the same feel-good hormones. So wake up in the morning, jump out of bed, smile to yourself. Lay your bed. It's a good thing to lay your bed. It tells you that you've done something, and psychologically your brain picks that up. But smiling gives you the benefits or the happiness that several bars of chocolate would do. So please, let's smile. It doesn't matter. It's a hard day. It's a tough day. You're not going to face it. You probably didn't sleep well. Still smile. It will get your body back. And I told you about creative rest, right? We all need a hobby. Anyone who doesn't have a hobby here, please, this evening, think about a hobby and tomorrow starts. It doesn't have to be a complicated hobby. You don't need to be good at it. It is just the process of trying. You have a garden, you don't have a garden, and if that's the only thing you want to do, buy some potted plants, put real plants in, dig your fingers in from day to day. I'm sure some of us may be aware that now major hospitals have gardens, right? Plants to help heal people. And when you go to the hospital and give that person that flower, that real flower, not a plastic one, you are helping the process of healing that person. So having plants that you speak to, plants that you nurture, it's also working on you. Get sunlight. If you are in a place where there is hardly any sunlight, look for the times when the sun comes out. Spend some time out. The benefits of sunlight are amazing. So if you can take your walk outside, perfect, because you get the sunlight, you get the exercise all in one. And so spend time in nature. Like I said, you need that nature. We should There's so many, there's so much concrete all over. That doesn't help us much. We need to have some, we need to talk to ourselves positively. You know, keep telling yourself good things, and it helps. And as I said, you got to pat yourself on the shoulder for small things. That's why I say, wake up from your bed, lay the bed. You know, hey, I've done something, completed it already, and it's not even 30 minutes since I woke up. Get into your bathroom, smile at yourself, right? Brush your teeth with your non-dominant hand. So that has a great way of affecting our brains positively, you know. So let's say if you are right-handed, get into brushing, use your left, brush your teeth, right? Of course, if you are starting, you won't be good at it. So you can, you know, go ahead and after use the dominant one to do it. Keep a gratitude journal. If you don't have one, please, tonight, get a book. Start with a paper. List it. Now, when you look back at it, you see how much you have done, what you have gained, you know, and it's amazing. Me time. It is busy. Your children are pulling you left, right. Your child with the challenges, maybe you don't even have, you're in a place where you can't even send a person to a school that will take care of him or her. You still need a me time, 5 to 10 minutes a day. And that's why I taught you the breathing. Your me times are good times to breathe. You know, now we talk a lot about mindfulness. An easy way is sit in a chair, lie down somewhere, maybe, I don't know, when everything is quiet, when you have that little time to yourself, and just breathe in and out like we learned. Focus on your breath. Yes, forget about things going on around you. If your mind wanders, just bring it back. It's going to wander. Our minds wander almost 50% of the time. But just keep breathing in and out. I'm sure as the questions come in, I'm also going to teach other things of focusing. And then once more, you got to surround yourself with people who make you happy, not people who drain you. You need those special friends. Everybody needs them. And so if you don't have one, like we said, you don't. What are you eating or drinking? Oh, I'm almost, okay, so let me rush through this. Now, if you want to be robust, if you want to be resilient, a lot depends on your general health. That is why we started with the 6 pillars of health. Now, what you eat has a profound effect on your life. What other family members eat, profound effect. Now, all these things I'm saying, it's great to do it as a family, right? If you cannot do it as a family, at least start with yourself, and people will see the change in you and join. Now, your fruits, your vegetables, you've got to have them. Your water, have a lot of it. And those of us who can find turmeric is in the family of ginger, garlic, all those things, they are extremely good. Your brain loves them. And we all need to work on our brains. We need to make it healthy and happy. The things we need to go down on: alcohol, drugs, caffeine, or let me put it away, excessive caffeine. You know, you can drink a cup of coffee, it's probably not going to do anything to you. But the more you drink, the more problems that you may be causing for yourself. And let's avoid alcohol as much as possible. Sometimes we think that, look, I'm going to soak myself in alcohol, I'll forget about all my problems. You wake up with the problems. You wake up with the challenges. So an occasional social drink, maybe, but hard drugs, caffeine, no. Sugar is a no for the children as well as yourself, because it puts a necessary strain on your body, your brains, and the rest of your body. And as you may know, it causes children to even behave, what would I say, extremes, you know, abnormally. You know, it gets them overly excited and they're all over the place, throwing tantrums, etc. That is for every child, not only children with challenges. So let's reduce the sugar in our diet of our children, especially all these soft drinks. You know, somebody's going to have a little tea or a little porridge or a little or something, and there's so much sugar. Or we have chocolates, a lot of them. Chocolates are good, but it depends on what you take and then how. We have to control everything as much as possible. But one of my favorite drinks is cocoa, the pure cocoa drinks, you know, no sugar, no milk, hot water, great for your whole body, great for your brains, lifts your mood, improves blood, your circulation, and the effect on your whole body is amazing. If you haven't tried it, I would suggest that you do. Some people will constipate or have a diarrhea when they do it, then maybe it means it's not the best option for you. Like I said, if you had to push me for one thing that you can do to your life to keep you in good shape, to start your whole wellness experience, it is sleep. If you shortchange yourself on sleep, you will be punished down the line. Let's learn to sleep. When you sleep, when you're well rested, you're more equipped to face the day. Doesn't mean that you should, every day you should be able to sleep 6 to 8 hours. No, there are some days you will sleep 4 hours. But it's what you do 90% of the time that really impacts on your life. And I will encourage all of us. I'm still struggling to try and get to the 8 hours, but I think as much as possible, let's all do that. Sleep is extremely powerful, although, as we said, there are other forms of rest. And there is help. You see, we are all born with inbuilt resilience. So you can tap into, you have more energy. And many of you know it already, those who have children, challenges, those who have other family members with different illnesses, chronic ones, you know what it's like. You've done things that you never thought you could do in your life. So you are equipped, you can do it. Just follow the things we have spoken about. And beyond you, there's family. You know, the nuclear family is there, and then the extended family. Yes, not everybody would be supportive, but somebody would. And then our dear friends are always there. Let's look for the good ones. Let's look for the ones who make us happy. And let's look for the people we can trust and share our problems with. And the community or health professionals. Sometimes you are so down that you need some medication to get you started, to lift you out of the well or wherever you are. Do not be afraid. Talk to a professional. Sometimes it's just counseling. Sometimes it's spending some sessions with a psychologist. Sometimes it's actually the need to take medicine. Finally, what I always say, the way I summarize health, right, is we need to laugh often, we need to ensure hygiene, and we need to walk and pray every day. And we should remember that it's a priceless gift to know our numbers. And what are our numbers? Our blood pressure, our blood sugar, our blood cholesterol, and our BMI. A BMI is a rough and dirty way to say that this is the weight for your height. But please, do not think that hypertension would come with headaches and chest pain. You would have waited for too long. It's a silent killer. Do not think diabetes is going to come with urinating a lot and drinking a lot of water. If you are far in the game, if you wait for that. If you ask me for what when your cholesterol is high, what you should be looking out for, I will tell you I don't know. The best thing to do is to check. So thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm glad. I hope that there are enough low-hanging fruits that we can start working on tonight. So we'll start looking at the questions. I love it when sometimes you unmute and then ask the questions too.
Nanika will take over now.
All right.
Yeah. There are some questions in the chat.
Okay.
And I'll read one
Yeah.
and then Nanika. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much, Dr. Estelle. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't like to try even summarize anything because there's so much. One of the areas that I felt it's important, you actually hit on it, was the digital wellness. I don't often hear people talk about that because it's becoming very, very much a part of our lives. And now people, as you said, sleep with their phones and tablets.
Yeah.
With their phones and tablets and even TV on and a whole lot of other digital stuff. So it's really important that, you know, you draw attention to it and then we have to be looking at that. Now, looking at the questions, Hannah, you may have to help me. Spiritual, I can't see where to start.
Okay,
All right.
so
Well, the
I
first
think
question.
the first question is, someone says she always feels, am I right? I think the actual question here is, someone says she always feels exhausted physically, mentally, emotionally. What would you recommend? Is that the
Yes.
first question?
Yes, that's the first question.
Okay. All right. So that's a good way to start. So yes. So we actually, what the blueprint, the steps that we listed, starting with the exercise, smiling, getting out of your bed, laying it, and not thinking that I'll come back and do it. Getting to brush your teeth and enjoying the fact that you are going to use both your dominant and non-dominant hands. Finding a hobby, getting out in the sunlight, get some sunlight. I was surprised when I started looking at people with extreme fatigue, not feeling like doing anything, and we couldn't find reasons. I started looking at vitamin D. Who would have thought? And in our setting, even in our tropical setting, we have so many people now with low vitamin Ds, and that affects your body in so many ways. Why? People sit in an air-conditioned car, they get to work, air-conditioned all day, leave at night, no sun, and come. Please, it may be a great way to start. So, I don't know, whoever posted a question, please, start getting some sleep. Tonight, walk in your compound. Just step out after this, walk in your compound. Get enough sleep. Wake up in the morning and follow the points we have discussed. It will do wonders to you. Listen to some music. Music has a way of getting to everybody's soul. And now it's actually part of therapy in treating people. Find a music that you love and listen to it. You'll get there. But if you try this and you're not getting any better, don't push it beyond 2 weeks. Get help from a professional. Are you eating well? These are some of the questions I would have loved to ask you. Are you eating well? Are you drinking enough water? Basic things, little things. And I think I've listed all those there. Let's try them one after the other, and let's see what happens within 2 weeks.
Yeah, and so I think the other thing I just had to add for Dr. Esel is that you have to be intentional about some of these things, especially if you are feeling so exhausted you don't want to do anything. You have to make up your mind that you're going to be intentional about it.
Yes,
now,
you're very right.
Yeah, the second question is, what can professionals in other African countries do to link up with you to learn and share practice? Because we have people on the platform who are not from Ghana.
Oh, okay. That's easy. I mean, I'm going to put my contact there. That's easy. I'll put my email. And then once you get in touch, we can do phones from there. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then we can
look at it, yes, and decide what they do. Okay, so I think as we were going through, Hannah was putting some pointers or reminders for us throughout. Exercise is a wonder pill. Someone says, what do you do if you don't have supportive family or friends? Yeah, because I think some people do say they don't have friends or family supporting, and so what do you do then?
Okay, right. And I think, so I said sometimes this brings about a lot of isolation, right? You feel that you've been neglected. So there is always someone who has probably been waiting to even be a friend to you, but you have been ignoring that person. Yeah. Some of the best people to get close to are people you went to school with years ago. Get in touch. Go to one of these old school reunions or meetings. Talk to someone. I know it may be difficult to get out and dress up and go, but what was the word to use? Show up, dress up, show up, and things change. Nature has this way of pushing us when we make the first step. But even if the friends haven't come, start doing the other ones and make a conscious effort. Speak to a professional. This may be, if the friends are not here, there may be a good time to speak to a counselor, a psychologist, or you can even start with your primary care physician, and other things would roll out. So start something. None of us can do everything at the same time, but start.
Yeah. And I think if you have any support groups that support the particular disability you are caring for, then that's also something that you can join and then try and get some support there as well.
Perfect.
Yeah. So as you said, make a move to find help and to find friends and to find maybe a member in of the family who can support you. Sometimes we think that nobody wants to support us. It could be, as you said, we have withdrawn from people, and so people also kind of withdraw from us. Yeah, and exercise, smiling, I think, is an excellent one. I've been trying gardening, but smiling is an excellent one. I like that.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning and you're smiling to yourself. So I think everybody.
You've got to tell your spouse, otherwise they may start thinking that it's not going right, right? So tell your spouse, hey, now I'm going to start smiling every morning when I wake up.
So I start smiling to them then, yes, from cheek to cheek. Yeah, I think that's a good one. Because the idea, I'm just thinking, the idea that you find yourself smiling to yourself is enough to, put you in a good mood. So,
and smiling tends to have a domino effect, right? You smile to yourself, you smile at another person, that person also goes out and is smiling at somebody else, right? So your whole family, it becomes infected and they go out and do same. So you would have started a whole,
Yes, and this is a commendation. What's a good presentation, Mr. Excel? Can I get a copy of it? This is somebody else. Okay, I think that will have to go through. If you leave your email address, whoever wants, if you leave your email address, then when Dr. Ezo sends them, then we will be able to forward them to you. And then this is John Santos. He says, I'm just happy to have you and to refresh my mind. I have more than 6 autistic children with me. So I believe that the things that you have talked about is really going to help him to be in a good shape to be able to support these autistic children.
And please do many of these things with them, but gradually, don't, introduce them when you're walking, introduce them when you sit out, introduce them. And bit by bit, you all build together.
Yeah. And Hannah says, in one of our groups for special children and families, there have been a couple of deaths of children, which impacts not only on the families, but all others in the group. What can we do in this instance?
Oh, that's a tough one. So that is definitely one of the big things when it comes to causing stress, leading to all that spiraling down. In my opinion, whenever there is death, you need to speak to a counselor. Most people don't agree with me, but I insist on it. We sometimes we want to bite more than we can chew, and it keeps bugging us. So now, as a group, you can give each other support. You can give each other comfort. You can talk to each other. Talking helps a lot, right? But if after 6 weeks you are still feeling down, you need professional care. So that happens. Don't try and seclude yourself, right?
Yeah.
Talk. The people in the group are feeling the same thing as you. So don't say, oh, okay, I need time. Just talk to people and continue doing the other things. But things, there'll be good days, and then some days you would dip back lower than where you were previously. But over time, you would get better. And if you're not getting better, I think you should get professional help.
Yeah. And would you say that, this is also the time that, you talked about spiritual support and the reliance on higher being or for God and whoever you decide to have as your, so this might be the time that
I'm sure if we did a survey now, when people get bad news, it hits you hard. Majority of us look for spiritual respite, and it's definitely good. Fill your home with music, praise, worship music, it goes a long way to calm you, to let you reflect. And the results are often very good.
Yeah, I remember the Professor Dankwa, who is dead now, gone now. I remember they did a survey, a research And one of the
Yeah.
things that we found was that in most African countries, they call the spiritual side as the fourth dimension, and it was very difficult to do anything without, including that aspect. If you are sick, whatever happened, people always looked to the fourth dimension, looked to a god or they have something that they also look up to. So it's a very important part.
So I have what I call the 10 commandments for a happier and enjoyable life. And the number 2 is being at peace with God and man. So that shows you that it's extremely important. It has major impacts on well-being. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So thank you. Moving forward, what about honey? I think this was when we were talking about sugar. So someone is asking about honey. What about honey? I mean, will that be a better option than sugar? I think this is what the question is about.
Yeah. So this comes up. So this is the deal. So sugar is what we call empty calories. It has nothing good, no nutrient whatsoever. Honey has some nutrients. So if you took the same, let's say, a teaspoon of sugar and a teaspoon of honey, the honey actually has more energy, more calories than the sugar. So if you are doing honey, yes, it may be healthier than sugar, but you need to be careful the quantities. Because if you use, let's say, it's honey is safe, so one dessert spoon. Meanwhile, maybe you are not moving much. You have not helped yourself. You understand? So as much as possible, let's reduce the intake of all these sweet things. But yes, watch your honey. If it's just half a teaspoon, it won't kill you to make your life nice. You have sometimes you have a whole big flask of tea, and you have just a small. Yeah. But don't think that when you take honey, it is so good that you are free. You can go to bed and chill. No. And in the same breath, let me add this. Fruits. We love fruits. People tell you, as for me, I don't eat supper. But a person is sitting behind a huge bowl of fruits. Please, if you are not aware, take it from here today. It is still sugar. It is good sugar, but it is still sugar. So if you're going to eat fruits late in the evening and go to bed, you are going to put on weight. You are going to build fat, especially around your organs. So I normally would say do your fruits in the mornings and in the afternoons. If you can afford it, don't do in the evening. But of course, this is life. Sometimes you don't have options and you do it. Okay.
Okay, so what about sweetness? I mean, sorry, can I just ask sweetness?
Okay, so I don't think sweetness help you in any way. I think we should forget about sweetness. I have seen people, I've seen family go through sweetness. Now I don't subscribe to it at all. I think down the line, sometimes things come up from about one sweetener or the other. And, frankly, the sweetness, they are deceptive. It's like, this is sweetener, so there's nothing to it. I can do as much as I have. Somebody would have done half a teaspoon. Might as well do half a teaspoon of sugar than go and then pour 2 sachets. So I would say, look, you've had a lot of sugar. If you are at 20 years, you've done enough sugar. Occasionally do some sugar, but you can live without that sweetener. Sugar, salt, these are all learned tastes. We are not born with them. So let's go down on them a bit. If you can skip the sweetness, you can.
Okay. And what about leftover foods? Someone is concerned about leftover foods. Will they be good to enjoy your leftover foods?
Oh yeah, why not? I mean, once you are preserving it properly. So if you are going to keep your leftover food in the fridge, and then in the morning warm it, why not? It's a good way, even if you have to take it to work, it helps a lot. So I would say, yes, leftover foods are good. Unless your leftover food is all biscuits and salty stuff or oily stuff. But if it's good food, why not? Please.
Yeah. And I guess I think also that you haven't reheated it many times so that you've lost a lot of the nutrients.
Yes, sometimes so a good way is if you can afford it, buy small containers. You know, when you pick things from your fridge, it's like for the family for that day. You know,
yes,
not everybody can do that, but those who can, I think it's a good way so that you don't go back, you heat it, you know. And so somebody will tell me, oh, as for me, I cook with olive oil. And I tell you, if you are a Ghanaian like me, you heat your olive oil so much that it's of no use. It's like the bad ones. So you might as well forget about it. If you are going to use it, just sprinkle it on your salad to get the benefit. But if you're going to heat it, you might as well use the bad ones. You heat and heat and heat. Just minimize the oils you're going to take. And remember that there's something called, there are good fats, right? Avocado, for instance, is good fat. We need the fats for ourselves, right? So get that avocado, get other things that would help you. The nuts are also great, you know. There's so many diets that it always tells you something. When you have many diets, it tells you that there's something wrong with them, right? But the Mediterranean diet is probably one of it. Maybe another time we'll be able to talk a bit about it.
Another time, because we're definitely going to have you back. I can see that. We have Karen Amano Acosta says, I have learned a lot about the value of exercise, sleep, and having a routine and hobby. In short, discipline. Thank you. If there is enough time, could you go over the exercise you demonstrated earlier on the face? I think so. We look at the questions, and then if there is time, we'll come back to it.
Okay.
Sleep, music, food is important. Get professional help if exhaustion continues. How do we cope when the whole day and week is filled with the need to provide for the family? It leaves little room for a hobby.
Okay.
How can we create a hobby?
I really feel your pain, right? But this is it. And I always say, when you are finding it difficult, you're overwhelmed with time, your best place to start is with exercise. You would think that, oh, I'm too tired to do anything. Please, just do 5 minutes. It's going to give you more energy over the next couple of weeks. And so you're able to do more in less time. Start off with exercise. Get the rest of the things going, and you'll be amazed at what you can do when you do that. But I really feel it. Yes, it can be overwhelming. There are so many big things to be attending to. Let's start that. But the little things you chalk, please pat yourself on the back. I have done well today. I got my bed done. I got the food done, prepared for the whole family. I was able to take my walk. You have done well. Appreciate yourself. And then your gratitude diary. Write in it. You know, sometimes I just flip over and say, wow. So I did this, and I'm actually surprised, you know. But then if you don't write it, you will forget, you know, and you'll be like, oh, what happened to me? This whole month has been bad. But if you had written, you realize that, hey, a lot of good things have happened, you know.
Yeah, I'm just thinking for even now, you know, before you go to bed, maybe decide to take 5 minutes and do a little walk up and down, you know, veranda or something as a start. I think we've got quite a few other questions come up, so we will
breathe. And breathing? So, you know, I think we did 3 types of breathing, combine them, mix them up, and then spend that 10 minutes of me time and do that breathing. It helps.
I'm sorry, just going to go over a little bit today. We like to finish exactly on time, but today, if you don't mind, you know, if you allow another 5 minutes or so we can look at some of the questions.
Okay.
When things are down, dress up. Yes, I like that. I always do that when things are down.
Yes. And if it's that bad, wear red. It has a way of just lifting your mood and spirit.
Exactly. Yes, that's true. I take care of over 6 autism children without a support. This is very stressful. I'm sure that a lot of the things that we have said, that you'll be able to pick some of those things up to continue to support yourself. Any support on this platform will help. Well, I don't know, Dr. Essel, do you want to say anything?
Any support? So the first thing I'll ask is, if you don't have friends, you should find one friend on this platform today. Inbox, and then let's take it from there, right? I can imagine 6. That's a stretch, right? But you're a very positive person, and I think if you apply what we have discussed so far, you go a long way. and fatigue. But
Yeah.
take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. You see, you may be so drawn into everybody that probably you don't even have time to eat properly, to drink adequate water. You don't have time to dress up. Sometimes, hey, even if you're at home, dress up, feel good, look in the mirror, be happy with yourself. You know, bits and bits
Okay.
of things.
And then we
add up.
have a few, yeah. We have a few email addresses. I'm sure that Hannah, you picked up on those ones. Is it possible to meet Dr. one-on-one? Are you in Ghana? I'm sure it says doc. Is it
Yeah,
possible?
yes, I'm in Ghana. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
Yeah, and you're going to
So
share your.
my email is out there. I can actually add my phone number.
Okay. And I have his phone number. You can call me too.
Yes. We haven't met, but I call you from time to time when I'm hot.
Yeah, we've spoken a few times, but we haven't met. What about people who have been burned before and now prefer to avoid friends and family? This is Auntie Sawa. People have been burnt before and now prefer to stay away from. Yeah.
What I can tell you is that I understand your stance, but no man can live as an island. Be careful, but choose one or two people. It will take you a longer time, but don't do this journey on your own. Journey of life wasn't made for just one person. There is somebody good enough for you, somebody who would be caring enough. Take your time, but you'll find that person.
Yeah. And just a little saying that I remember a friend of ours, a neighbor of ours, said once some time ago when he had, I think, a couple of his children got drowned, and he said, the fact that his children have drowned doesn't mean that he's never going to drink water. So, exactly. Yeah, so I think it happens, and we have good people and we have bad people everywhere. So I think we still have to start all over again and build it up slowly.
Yeah. There are so many good people in the world.
Yeah, sweetness is a no-no. The person with the 6 autistic children, Auntie Sawa says you can give her a call. So can you do a private message to her now so that you can get her contact details? And Martha Dazi also says, if you need a trained facilitator to come to your aid, please contact me. Okay, Martha, yeah, that's nice. I'm not sure. I don't know, but maybe Hannah knows you, but it would have been good to just say a little bit about what you do so that other people too can.
Nanika, I don't know.
Yes.
I think I know her from one of the WhatsApp groups, but I don't know her personally. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe she can say a little bit about what she does so that it's easier to know.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes. And then Emily's question, she says, please, is there any support group for mothers with special needs children? Hannah, are you still in the meeting? Can you say something
I'm
about
here.
Yeah, please, can you say something about Special Mothers Projects? Thank you.
Okay, so we have a WhatsApp platform for parents of children with cerebral palsy, but there are also parents of children with other disabilities on the platform. And what we do is to just talk, peer counsel, rants, share your highs and lows. Sometimes we get lucky, someone have a birthday party, they invite us, we meet. So it's a fun place where you can have peers who are on the same journey with you to go. So yes, there's a support group.
Yeah,
and there are others.
And just to add to what Hannah said, I find her group very unique. I'm on lots of different WhatsApp platforms, and no matter who you are, where you are, your status, everyone is welcome, and they support each other. When people are really down, they can share it without feeling that they are going to be ostracized or laughed at, etc. So it's one of the really brilliant groups. Thank you. Anika, take over.
Okay, so Hannah, so can professionals can join then, yes?
Yes, please. Yes. There are professionals on it. Dr. Tano is on it. There are clinical psychologists on the page, and there are others, yes.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, because there's the other group. I think Hope Alive, the Down syndrome group, is also another group. I don't know.
Yes, and in fact, Hope Alive. So all the other groups, their heads are on special mothers.
Mothers, even
So
Auntie
they
Sewa
connect.
is there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Auntie Sewa is there. Hope Alive is there. With God's Cerebral Palsy is there. All the other groups, their leaders are on special mothers platform, so that they can also relay information to their group when there's a need.
Okay, so there are quite a few groups around that people can join. Yeah, so if you want to join, that's fine. Just do a private link either to a message to Hannah and myself, and then we'll send you the telephone number, the address to join. Okay, I don't know. I think we've gone past the 5 minutes. So Hannah, I'm afraid I'm not sure we can do the exercises again, can we?
No, we can't. But our next meeting, that is the last one for the year because we don't meet in December, is on the 26th of November. And we are expecting all of you to be there so that we can celebrate our highs and lows of the year and start thinking about what we are going to do next year. And thank you, Dr. Essel. You've been amazing. You've been fab. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone.
Yeah, have a good evening too. And thank you for all those who were able to attend today. Thank you. It's been an awesome presentation indeed. Yes, thank you. And we are going to invite you again, Dr. Essel. That's what it says. So thank you very much. Thank you, everybody that was able to turn up. We're going to have to close now. Thanks. Bye.
Bye, everyone. See you next
Have a
time.
lovely evening. Yeah.